So in my last video, I said some strong things about the term professional, and a few people were offended by it. A few people said something about it, which means quite a few more didn't say something about it. They were just offended by it. So look, here's the thing. If somebody says they're a professional boxer, you don't say to them, oh, what else do you do, right? You just think that's what they do to make their living. In fact, the Oxford Dictionary, the second definition of professional is engaged in a specified activity as one's main paid occupation rather than as a pastime. So when we have some sort of field where people can do it as a hobby, right? There aren't amateur doctors, there aren't amateur accountants out there, but if there are actors, boxers, guitarists, painters, whatever, but they're not professional in front of that, then we assume they kind of do that as a hobby, right? Like I had a friend who was a school teacher, and she was in a lot of plays in the local theater. So she was an actor, but she wasn't a professional actor, right? So people want to use the term professional to describe themselves when really that's not the right term. That's nothing to be offended by. There's always a period where you're becoming a professional, right? Like, for example, a professional football player here in the United States. You've got to do this stuff to become a professional, which means you're an amateur. You're playing football in the college level and the high school level, and even as a child, you're doing all that stuff. But you don't say you're a professional until you start making money at it. If you're a professional trombonist, right? There's a point before that where you're doing the things that pros do. You're gigging, you're practicing, you're taking the lessons, you're building your skill set, and you're building your business so that you can become a professional trombonist. So same deal with being a professional voice actor. There's a period where you've got to be doing the stuff to become professional. You don't just say, you know what, I have a nice voice and I bought a microphone and now I'm a professional voice actor. You got to take the lessons and you got to make the demos and you got to market yourself and you got to find the clients and you got to do the auditions. Maybe you need an agent. Maybe you need to think about joining the Actors Union. Maybe not. All those things are stuff you at least need to know about and kind of approach as you're learning about this profession or this vocation of voice acting. I teach a class called The Business of Voiceover, and that's really what we talk about. It's 16 weeks long. We meet every Tuesday night, and we talk about the things you got to do to become a voice actor. I have guest speakers that come. Some are good at acting, some are good at business, some are good at the technology of all of this. But it is a worthwhile class. About 125 people have taken it now, and it turns out it's a pretty good class. I think you ought to look into it. If you're interested, you can email me at andyfieldvoiceover@gmail.com.